Hey guys, so I just finished watching Die Hard, the 30th anniversary 4K edition. Picked up this amazing steelbook the other day down at JB Hi-Fi. 30 years since this movie was released, and this is one of my favourite films ever made. I really like the artwork they created for this one. The trouble with steelbooks though is just with the slipcover on the back, you can never really open the steelbook without causing damage to the slipcover if you want to keep that. And I like to keep the back cover on there. But anyway, and there we go. So we've got the Nakatomi Plaza symbol on the cigarette lighter on the back. And some more lovely artwork on the inside. We've got the broken glass and the bloody footprints leading through on the floor. And the 4K and the Blu-ray disc inside. The movie itself, directed by John McTiernan back in 1988, is just one of those seminal classics. For this film, I didn't really have a love of action cinema. I loved my horror films and my comedies. I was about 17 years old when Die Hard was released, and I didn't really see the full movie until I was about 18, 19 years of age. I was at a friend's place one day and he had the VHS, and we're all sitting around in a big group just watching the movie. And we kind of arrived there late, so the movie was halfway finished. I can't remember what scene it was up to, but I was watching, Bruce Willis, who was to me was at the time David Addison from Moonlighting, running around this building, shooting at a bunch of terrorists, and Alan Rickman was the bad guy. And I was intrigued right away, so I sat there and I watched the end of the film. I thought, yeah, this is pretty good. But having only seen half of it, I made it a point to go pick it up from the rental store the next day myself and watch it from beginning to end at home, and it was instant love.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.
It awoke in me my love of action films. I absolutely adore action movies, and this was the first one that kind of opened the door to what action movies could be, and it is one of the best action movies ever made. Bruce Willis as John McClane in this movie is an absolute iconic role, and the film is a classic in every sense of the word. And what makes a movie special is if they absolutely nail a villain, and they did that with Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber in this film. John McClane was the typical everyman hero who was just plunged into a situation that was beyond his control, and Hans Gruber was this terrorist who was an absolute joy to behold on screen. His Hans Gruber was just marvellous, and he is sorely missed, and what Alan Rickman brought to the role was just absolute menace and joy, and made the film something really truly special. So we're also starring Bonnie Bedelia as Holly Gennaro, Reginald VelJohnson as Sergeant Al Powell, Paul Gleason, who you might recognise from The Breakfast Club as the principal, William Atherton, also from Ghostbusters, Hart Bochner from Supergirl, the late great Alexander Godunov as Carl, Devereaux White as Argyle, and the wonderful stuntman Al Leong as Uli. He was one of those stuntmen that kind of turned up in a lot of my favourite action films growing up. He was also in Bill and Ted, Lethal Weapon. He's just one of those faces that turns up in all these films. He's the guy, the terrorist, the Asian terrorist who is, while he's lighting up all his guns and ammunition along a cabinet waiting for a bit of a shootout, he kind of realises that underneath the glass top counter that he's putting his arsenal on is a chocolate counter. So he's getting the weapons ready, and he just kind of like glances down, sees these sweets, and once he checks, goes for it. So I love him. He's great. Directed by the wonderful John McTiernan, who's also done the likes of Predator, Last Action Hero, The Thomas Crown Affair, The 13th Warrior, and also Die Hard with a Vengeance, so he come back for that one. Really knows how to craft an amazing action film. This film runs at 2 hours and 15 minutes, and it's just non-stop action from start to finish. The set pieces in this are just amazing. Set in Nakatomi Plaza, a skyscraper in LA. Terrorists take over this building because there's a lot of money tied up in one of the safes inside this building. There's a Christmas party hosted by Helena McClane's work team in the building at the time. I don't know if this is unfortunate timing or if it's just Hans Gruber's last chance to get into the building and get this money. The stakes are just instantly off the charts. John McClane turns up to visit his wife. He's from New York. He's a cop. She's moved to LA for her job. They've become estranged. He's come to see her during Christmas time under her invite to hopefully reconcile. He meets her at the party. They don't get on very well, but before they can actually have any real conversations about kind of like how to fix their relationship, Hans Gruber and the men attack. John McClane is suddenly on his own in this skyscraper in LA, fighting for his life, no shoes, trying to save the day, and it is amazing. Like I said, it was a star-making performance from Bruce Willis. After this movie, the world was pretty much his oyster. He became a superstar after this movie. The action in it is amazing. The score, phenomenal. The photography, John DeBont, who went on to do Speed and Speed 2, and also, no, that was it. He was a good cinematographer. It's absolutely astounding how beautiful this film is, and on the 4K HDR, this movie has not looked better. There is some film grain. Yeah, the film was made in 1988, so there's a thin layer of film grain in this. Gives it a nice filmic quality. Where the movie does shine is the inky black detail in this movie. There's a lot of night scenes. The original script and the book had this story taking place over 3 days, but they condensed it down to a one-night event. And because it's at night, there's a lot of nighttime shots. There's a lot of dark scenes inside the building itself. And the inky black levels are just perfect. There's so many dark, crisp scenes in this movie. I never realized that before. This is the first time I've actually seen how dark and crisp this film is. And the contrast between those inky blacks and the vibrancy of the flashing lights outside, the cityscapes, the explosions, poor John McClane's blood leaking out of his body, specifically his feet, is just really eye-popping stuff. It's really bright. Action scenes are quite explosive. So yeah, this movie scrubs up so well on the 4K HDR. It's stunning to look at. The sound was incredible. The explosions and the gunfire was just exploding off my walls in the man cave. So the speakers were really kind of rattling and shaking quite well. It was really quite immersive. So yeah, it was really quite a wonderful treat to kind of revisit this movie. I haven't seen it for a couple of years. The last time I watched this film was with Nicole. It was the Christmas period a couple of years ago, where, you know, because Die Hard is a Christmas movie, I put it on for her. She'd never seen it before. She watched it and she loved it. Fantastic. So giving Die Hard a rating, 30th anniversary edition of the wonderful Die Hard is a 10. It's a classic. It's an absolute 10. It's one of those films that kind of set the bar for action cinema, or for cinema in general. It was a smash hit. Still holds up really, really well today. So it's all practical work. A lot of the explosions were real time, real big explosions, actually filmed on set. So everything has a grounded quality about it, and it's just wonderful. And the John McClane character created by Bruce Willis is just absolutely iconic. So yeah, if you've not checked out Die Hard, what are you doing? Stop watching this and watch it right now, because it's amazing. Anyway guys, thanks for checking into my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.
Only John can drive somebody that crazy.
He's an easy guy to like.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.
And a hard man to kill. Bruce Willis, Die Hard.
Got invited to the Christmas party by mistake. Who knew?
Hey guys, so I just finished watching. Hey guys, so I just finished. I can't talk English. Hey guys, so I just finished watching Die Hard, the 30th anniversary. Hey guys, so I just finished watching Die Hard, the 30th anniversary